What is up, everyone? Today we are back with another move tier list. This time is arguably the biggest one of them all, neutral B tier list. We are going to go through all in a vacuum neutral B moves. What does in a vacuum mean? It means if you took this neutral B and put it on any character, would it still be good? And of course, before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, ring that bell. I have a bunch of other move tier lists which you can check out. Let's get into it. Neutral B. So, the way I do these, chat, basically go in a random order. I don't pre-make these lists like I do with my normal tier lists because I like thinking about it on the fly. There's literally some of the best moves in the game and then also some of the worst moves in the game. I click a random one. Ivysaur. Ivysaur's neutral B it's nothing special, but it does have a couple uses. It's good to catch people if they can't air dodge and they have to go through you, like if they're drifting. It's literally an unmissable move in that situation, but that's kind of it. It's not bad. It's not like some of the worst moves. I don't know many situations where Bullet Seed is like the preferred move. Characters that don't have a ridiculous up air, it could be better. I think Sora's neutral B is really, really good. Fire has so much hit stun on it. Freeze, you can get kills off of it. It also does a ton of shield damage. Thunder is okay. It can cover the ledge, it can stall, it can hit people for edge trapping, so it's still usable. Like, it forces people to shield and stuff like that. And I feel like even characters that aren't Sora are good with all of those. Everyone wants a freeze move because it's basically a free confirm and or free damage. Fire is like one of the easiest hit confirmable projectiles in the game. Overall, it's really, really good. This is gonna be on the lower end of this tier, but still really good. Joker's neutral B is fucking broken. Arguably the best non-game breaking neutral B. It's used as a poke tool, it's used as a landing tool, it's used as a disrupt tool. You have down gun and up gun. Down gun is one of the the single best moves and disadvantage in the game, that and like flip jump, right? Joker's gun is literally usable on every single character, I feel like. Even characters that have neutral Bs that are more paramount to their game plan wouldn't hate to have gun. I love my Thunder Jolt. I would use gun hella. Arsene gun makes it even better, but like honestly, you don't even need it for it to still be one of the best moves in the game. I've seen a couple people in chat ask for this. I'm gonna do one of the worst, if not the worst neutral B in the game, Falcon Punch. It's almost pointless to use this ever. Charging up smash would almost kill as early, not quite. It's barely useful as a shield break tool. There's no actual setups into it unless you're just hard reading your opponent, but again, you can hard read with like a billion other things as most characters. You don't need Falcon Punch. Like, Falcon Punch is replaceable by most forward smashes in the game, especially considering how amazing some neutral Bs are. Like, this just feels like a slap in the face that he still has Falcon Punch. I know it's iconic, but like, he really should have a new one. Peach. Peach's neutral B is pretty good. It is a percent independent counter, which sometimes is good and sometimes is not good, because you want a character to be able to get punished for hitting you really hard, but at the same time, Peach gets more out of punishing small things than most other counters do. Like, I don't give a f if I get hit by a counter from a Corrin, but I care if I get hit by a counter from a Peach on like Quick Attack or T-Jolt, whereas most characters I don't care about those things. The best thing about Peach's counter too is if you do it backwards, for some reason it just like freezes the opponent for a long time, so you're able to get counters on things that most other characters can't. It also does 30 all the time. Hero's neutral B is amazing. I'm not gonna say it's super godlike. It's definitely not a top 3 charge move. You're not really gonna use it for ledge trapping. You're not really gonna use it in that instance. However, neutral B combos into things if you're decently fast. Remember, Hero's slow, and while he has a sword, he can still get like neutral B forward air. It's a super big kill move, even if you can only use it like twice a stock. Or the second part is actually really, really good. It's very strong, it sends an awful angle, and sometimes it can literally hit twice. But it's a slightly worse Sora. Fire neutral B is the first one. The second one is like a kill move, and then the third one like murders you. If you weren't worried about all the other hero stuff, is it as broken of a projectile? I don't think so, because you're just looking out for it, as opposed to looking out for that, and the invincible forward tilt, and the side B, and you're kind of approaching Hero because you don't want him to menu. It's a little worse than it seems like on Hero specifically, but it's still really, really good. Inkling's neutral B, damn good. Oh, is it such a good neutral B? First off, Ink as a mechanic is ridiculous, and Splattershot puts ink on you. So you take more damage, which means that combos work better. And also, it's like ridiculously safe on shield. Like, so rather, it feels better than -6. That might be like point blank. I have no idea. It can blow up other projectiles. It can get in the way of other projectiles. Like, it blows up Snake's grenade. I'm pretty sure it stops like boomerang. So it's an anti-projectile. It pushes you away. It can interrupt you. And again, it puts ink on you. And it really puts people in a bad situation. Like, I can't imagine other characters having splatter shot. Like, that would be broken. Like, can you imagine if Peach could just shoot a projectile at you and then start nair training you? Like, you would actually explode. Granted, it's not like you don't explode when you play Peach anyway, if she hits you, but still. So Robin's neutral B is, in my opinion, a worse version of Heroes. The second version is like decently strong. The third version is godlike. Arc Thunder is actually really good. It chunks shield and it does like 30%. I wish it was like it was in Smash 4. where you could get a guaranteed grab. And then Thoron is kind of unusable. I don't know when Thoron's supposed to hit. It just feels like it's not supposed to work, and it puts you into free fall, so you can't even do it off stage to like dissuade people from hitting you like you can with like every other big charge shot. Maybe it's better than Peach's, but it's nowhere better than this tier. I think overall the Thunders are meh. So Olimar, I kind of Olimar's in I don't know how to rank tier because he gets Pikmin. It's literally super important to his character, but in a vacuum, that doesn't work. Pyro's neutral B is amazing. It is so hard to avoid. It chunks shield, it kills super early, it stalls you in the air, you can use it for edge guarding. I don't know why Pyros don't use this move more. I guess it's because you can whiff punish it. I don't know why you wouldn't use this move a ton. Could you imagine this on a fast character? Could you imagine it on someone that's a fast faller, so they can just fast fall fucking neutral B and it would just break shields, or you can edge, like, it's great in so many situations. Corrin's neutral B. It's a super kill move with a projectile that stuns that you can hit other things with it. Corrin's literally one of the worst people at hitting things off of neutral B because Corrin is incredibly slow. Could you imagine a character like Fox or like Roy having a neutral B that stuns you and then they can just run up to it and hit you, or they read an air dodge and just kill you with the move by itself? That would be ridiculous. The move is amazing. It's just mid on Corrin, and Corrin can combo into it, but imagine if you were a character that can combo into it better. Kirby. Kirby's is by default super godlike. It's literally all of them. And also you have an edge guarding tool. The reason it's not super broken on Kirby is because Kirby sucks. It's a buffed version of a lot of the moves that come out, but also because Kirby is small, it has no range, and Kirby is slow, so some of the moves aren't effective. Like Kirby can't camp with it as much because he's too slow. But if you had inhale copy ability on any character that has anywhere near decent stats, this character's fucked up. Like, that's a fucked up move. It is literally one of the most game-breaking neutral Bs in the game. It's just on Kirby. The reason it's not like a top 5 neutral B in the game is because technically there are matchups where you get bad moves, like Falcon Punch, Bullet Seed, Olimar's neutral B, even though I know Kirby like plucks and throws a purple, but it's still really slow. You can't use it in the air. It's not very good for that. Probably a top 10 minimum neutral B. It's just on Kirby, and Kirby stats suck, so you just bully Kirby anyway because Kirby sucks. For donos, we got 2 characters, the first one being Sephiroth. Sephiroth's neutral B is kind of what I wish Robin's was. It's obviously a lot laggier, but also you literally have a kill move at 0% that can combo into forward smashes. Good for ledge trapping, you can stall with it, you can double jump, you can B reverse it. Of course, you can do that with most of the charge moves. Also, the explosions are fucking huge, and while there are sour spots to some of them, so they're not the most useful all the time, most charge shots don't threaten space the way Sephiroth's does, because it hits ledge, it hits low, it hits high, so you like have to air dodge it most of the time. The only good one is the second level, but the second level is so good that it doesn't matter. And again, you can cancel it at any time, so it's not like you have to use it all the time. Mii Brawler. Okay, so I'm going to be going over all 3 of Mii Brawler's neutral Bs, because the Miis have 3 neutral Bs, of course. Shot Put, Flashing Mach Punch, Exploding Sidekick. I think Shot Put is the lower end of really good. It does a lot of shield damage. It's kind of slow, but it does cover a bunch of recoveries. You can use it to just no commitment harass the opponents. It's mostly used in disadvantage and someone's off stage and I'm just gonna throw a neutral B at them with no commitment, and it's a kill move, right? It's not a great neutral B inherently. I think neutral B is by far Mii Brawler's worst, well, I guess second worst special lineup. Because Shot Put, I mean, it does like 20, right? Like there's a bunch of setups for it. There's like, you can have it bounce off of platforms and make it 2-frame and all this crazy stuff, but it's really slow. So if you're wrong, you're gonna get hit and die. I'm going to use this hero as Flashing Mach Punch. I think Flashing Mach Punch is amazing. On my Mii Brawler setup, it is not as useful as Shot Put, but Flashing Mach Punch as a whole is incredible. It is a kill move that you can combo into that has invincibility when you start getting hit. It's a great ledge trapping tool. It stalls you in the air. It kills so early. It's so strong. It is so strong. And I feel like this move on a bunch of characters, like landing Nair into neutral B, it'd be their preferred kill confirm. You know how like Roy's will be like landing on you and then do like side B1 and you're like, oh, that was supposed to be a forward air. So you like jump and try to hit them and then they go 2, 3, 4 of the neutral B, or sorry, side B. You can do that with Flashing Mach Punch too, where you go, okay, falling, neutral B, and then someone gets hit like twice on their shield and they go, okay, jump, oh shit, and then they get hit and die at 80. I'll do Wii Fit Trainer, male Wii Fit Trainer, as the third one, which is Exploding Sidekick, which it's okay. It's good. The only reason it's better than Captain Falcon's is because it's -7. It's not a great move, but it is literally an objectively better version of Falcon Punch, so it's not in the same tier as Falcon Punch. And it's 50 or 52 frame startup. I don't know why it says 50 and 52. It also has not invincibility. It has, I don't remember what purple means. So I think it means it has armor at the end of it, which Falcon's doesn't. It's also faster than Falcon Punch, XD. Like, it's not a good move. You shouldn't really use it still, but at least it's like, if you use it and you're wrong, it's safe. Pikachu's neutral B is insane. I think it is probably a top 5 neutral B in the game, maybe 6th. You use it as an edge guarding tool. You use it as you're a disadvantage tool. You use it and it rides up walls. You use it to hit people like around the ledge that are trying to recover. You use it as a neutral tool. Like, literally, T-Jolt into run with T-Jolt is so important and it would be for most characters. Again, you can get pressure with it. You can shield poke with it, or get like guaranteed like mix-ups, right? Like pressure regardless if you're like decently close to them. Like, I definitely think there are some more game-breaking neutral Bs, but Pikachu's is definitely up there. Mario. Mario's Fireball is amazing. It is a like way worse version of Thunder Jolt. Yeah, it's not as good to run behind it, but it is useful as a camping tool. It's useful as a hit someone off the stage tool. It's useful as a disadvantage tool. Like Thunder Jolt's better than Fireball, and they're basically the same thing. Because they both kind of fall, they both kind of bounce on the floor, but T-Jolt is just better. But Mario's is still ridiculous because a bad version of a broken move is still really good. It's less good in disadvantage because it doesn't ride up walls, so this is fine. Piranha Plant. Patooie's amazing. It's clearly his best move. I'm trying to think of if other characters would really want the neutral B. It is a get off of me ledge option, it's a juggle option, it is a good projectile, it's a mash out of hit stun move because if you hit Plant and then the neutral B is out, it falls and hits you. It's super strong. So it might be the bottom of here or the top of here. I'm not 100% sure. I might switch it. It's a really good move. It does so much damage. It chunks shields. You can use it off stage to edge guard people, especially if they don't have an air dodge. You can kind of hold it for a long time, get it back in your mouth. It's just good. It's strong. It's hard to combo into as most characters. Obviously, Plant has bad combo tools, so I think some characters would be able to combo it into it better. It's just good. Mega Man's neutral B is Metal Blade. Metal Blade at least goes here. First off, you can just throw it as a projectile, completely normal. And then you can kind of jump with it and follow up or get a grab. And every single character has something good to do with Metal Blade. You just get like Z-drop bullshit. And again, Mega Man has particularly good Z-drop stuff, but I feel like every character has something, right? They have at the very least an add a shield option now. Mega Man's neutral B is actually just fucked up. It might be here because it's the only one that consistently gives you an item. Jigglypuff, rollout's bad. Better than Falcon Punch, but it's bad. Don't know why you would ever want to use this move. It sends at a bad angle. It does some shield damage, but you can just jump over it. I don't know why you would ever want to use this move. It's just bad. Greninja's neutral B is somewhere in this tier. It's not technically a charge move because you can't store it. But wow, is that move good? Level 1 Greninja neutral B, the Shuriken, is actually fire. That move is so good. It disrupts, it's annoying, then you can slowly get stronger ones, and then fully charged, really good. It's not top 10, nowhere close, but it's good. I actually overrated it. It's more like here. The problem is that a lot of people think about this in reference to Greninja, where Greninja is fast and annoying and you want to try to whiff punish that character and then he runs away and shoots a neutral B. If this is on a character that isn't as mobile as Greninja, which is most characters because Greninja is one of the most mobile characters in the game, it now becomes a mid camping projectile. Pocket is, in my opinion, really good. In my opinion, having frame 3 invul that you can drift with is super useful. If you're in like a position that you're like above a stage or like trying to like need to go off stage, but you don't want to air dodge or don't have an air dodge, you have Pocket to just like go off stage. It also, of course, you grab every projectile and then throw it back at them. It like resets timers on certain things. It takes some neutral Bs away or some like projectiles away forever. If you neutral B, I'm pretty sure it is a Rob gyro. Rob doesn't get it back. Being able to deal with literally every projectile in the game is always going to be useful. And Villager, while I personally am not scared as much of Villager's neutral B compared to heal moves, that's a Pikachu specific thing. I feel like most characters are more scared of Pocket than Absorbs. Maybe except for Game & Watches specifically, because Game & Watches becomes a one-hit kill on a lot of characters. As I'm thinking of most characters, I would much rather like a Ness heal on a grenade than I would for, or like an up smash, than for Villager to like down throw into up smash me. Like that would kill hella. Little Mac's neutral B is mad good. For the sake of this video, I am not considering KO Punch because KO Punch isn't a neutral B thing, it is a Little Mac thing. So in a vacuum, he would not have it. But either way, his neutral B is really good regardless of KO Punch. It's an armor move that descends that you can cancel with shield. That's a kill move. So literally, it is one of the best disadvantage tools as a neutral B in the game. Damage-based armor begins on frame 1 and starts at 9.6% and gets to 14% or 16% as you charge it. So it's just a move that's really good for getting out of disadvantage, better than most other moves. And then it kills, and then you can cancel it with shield. So it's a move that, like, if you see someone use a projectile, you can just use it to tank the projectile and then shield, or spot dodge, or whatever. I think it's definitely in this tier. I think it's very, very good. I think that Duck Hunt's neutral B is amazing. Obviously, it comes out frame 1, and it's a combo killer. It also is a really interesting camping move because you can hit it, and you can think it, like, over time. It helps you recover. It's a great disadvantage neutral B. The only negative is, like, sometimes you need it to not kill you, and it kills you, which sucks. Like, you can get a hit back into you decently easily, but that's its flaw, which is why I'm not putting it in super godlike. Next up is Me Gunner. So Me Gunner, again, like Brawler, I have to do 3 of them. Smoke Bomb's ridiculous. It's literally a free edge trap that almost no character can get around. Does a ton of shield damage, it's plus on shield, can get guaranteed grabs as most characters in the cast. Me Gunner's not fast, and yet Me Gunner can do it. It is a good edge guarding tool, it's a great ledge trapping tool, it's a pretty okay disadvantage tool because you can just throw it and then it, you know, protects you or makes people either go away or jump at you off stage. Dumb move. Also a pretty dumb move is Me Gunner's charge shot because it's a charge shot. All charge shots are good. Honestly, Me Gunner's charge shot's probably the worst actual charge shot in the game. Thinking of like Samus, Mewtwo, the worst charge shot is still really fucking good because I'm pretty sure Gunner's hits the ledge. It does like 30 damage. It doesn't do like the shield damage pressure thing that like Mewtwo's and Samus's and stuff does. So it's not as good for that. So it's definitely in the worst tier than those two, but it's still good. Inkling's close to Gunner, right? I don't think it's quite as bad as these two, but the laser for Gunner is pretty bad. Maybe I'm underrating it because the other two neutral Bs are so good. So I just don't see it. So I don't realize that it can be useful. Next up is Wario. Bite's fucked up. I don't think it's in super godlike because it is, relatively speaking, for command grabs, not that good. It's just command grab. I think Wario innately gets a buff for command grabs, so Wario's command grab on Wario is a lot better than Wario's command grab on other characters because you don't want to get hit by landing there and landing up air against Wario because they lead to waft. But it's a command grab. It's a command grab that kills at the ledge that you can hold for and also it heals, right? So it's quite good. So Wolf's Laser, by a lot of the scene, is considered one of the best neutral Bs in the game. And while I think it is a good neutral B, I think it is very, very overrated. It is a 10% projectile that is transcendent, that is big, that has a hitbox on the body when it comes out, so you can use it to get people off of you or as an anti-air, which is really dumb. However, if Wolf's Laser wasn't on Wolf, it would be way worse because Wolf's Laser is good because his bait and punish air mobility weird style laser on a character like Peach. Peach isn't going to get a ton of usage off of Wolf Laser other than just using it as a projectile or forcing you to air dodge off stage because she's not going to be baiting you like that because the character functions differently. If your character doesn't function like Wolf functions, which there are very few characters that do, I think it makes Wolf's Laser worse. It is too slow. It's not good enough in advantage. It's not good in disadvantage, period. So it's only good as an off-tempo choice against characters that are trying to approach you. Okay, Young Link. I don't know the negative of this move. It's a combo move, it's a camp move, you can hold it if someone is landing without an air dodge and get a guaranteed hit. It's a kill confirm. Young Link in particular is very mobile, so it's an easy kill confirm for Young Link, but I feel like it is still a kill confirm as most characters. The projectile has like no lag. It's great to be reverse. It's just stupid. It's one of the best zoning moves in the game. I think honestly, as a zoning move, it is probably the best I've put so far because you can't run out of it. It's constantly annoying. You can charge it to make the timing ambiguous. It also travels so fucking fast. It's just good. Rob's laser is, in my opinion, I think it's better than Wolf's. This might be a hot take. While you do need to charge it, so you can't use it quite as frequently, Big Laser's amazing. It can just kill. It forces people to air dodge in a really good way because you can angle it. You can angle it, which means that it can read jumps or read falling low. It does a bunch of percent. Also, it does have the body hitbox of the fire, so like it can do a ton of damage. The move is ridiculous. I think it's just a better version of Wolf neutral B. It's just slower. DK Donkey Kong. I think DK's is real good. It's a super kill move that's safe on shield, that has armor. The negative of DK's punch is it's on DK. It's one of the best air dodge punishes in the game. Obviously super strong. The fact that you can throw it out basically no risk on the ground because it has super armor and it's safe on shield, like low key, it's here. I think it's fucked up. I think it's one of the best neutral Bs in the game. So Marth's shield breaker is technically a little better than Lucina's, so I'm going to put them together for now. Shield breaker is amazing. It has a mix-up by itself, which I fucking hate. I think it is so stupid that this move exists the way it does. It's a move that you can charge at like 80%. If someone just starts charging Marth neutral B, you kind of have to just guess the timing. If you have any type of chunk off of your shield, like a little bit, it'll break if they just release it immediately. But then if they're trying to read spot dodge or roll, they can time it to hit the lack of invincibility from a spot dodge or a roll or something like that. It's just stupid. The reason that I have Marth's as better is because the non-tipper is still really good because it still breaks shields, but then the tipper is just stronger, so it is a better shield break punish. Next up is Terry's neutral B. I think Terry's neutral B is one of the worst neutral Bs in the game. It's definitely bottom 10. The best use for Terry's neutral B is when you're off stage because it sends it a better angle. So it's a decent edgeguard tool, but it's also a slow edgeguard tool, and most aerials would still be better edgeguard tools. It's just Terry doesn't have any of those. It's a very mid projectile, both versions of it, and then off stage is okay. I think this move sucks. Lucas's PK freeze. 2 frames for free. The angle it sends you at is awful. It's good as an anti-air because you can just kind of like PK freeze, let it go, and then if they get hit by it, cool. If not, you just like forward tilt them as most characters. In advantage, it's one of the dumbest things in the game. In disadvantage, it's actually pretty okay because you have to respect it because you can just let it go at any time. So like if he's like kind of around ledge level, like again, anyone around ledge level would be able to use that. It like stalls him and then you just kind of protect yourself, bam, and if they get hit by it, you either get back to the ledge for free or it accidentally hits them off of the wall and then bounces off the other side. This move's fucked up. It's one of the best advantage neutral Bs in the game. Ridley's neutral B is really good. I think it's better than Wolf Laser. Like Ridley's neutral B is one of the best advantage tools in the game. It has a great arc. It does a lot of shield pressure, which can confirm into shield pressure dash attacks and grabs. It just kills some characters. It's like one of the best moves against tethers in the game. The reason I'm gonna put it lower is because if you're really close to someone or like they start throwing out their fireball and you hit them for it, Ridley takes like extra damage. As an edge guarding tool, this might be one of the best edge guarding neutral Bs in the game. It's not an amazing because it is a little slow and it has some flaws. And if you're not in the bad position, you just jump over it and it's fine. But if you're in the bad positions, oh, is it good? Like it's really useful in the positions where it's good. It's just not universally good like some of these are. We got $5 for homing attack. This move, I swear to God, Sonic mains say it's here. They think this move is bad, yet you know what they do? They fucking mash that shit. They mash neutral B harder than anything they've ever mashed in their lives. This move is fucked up. This move is literally in Super Godlike. There is no possible way that Sonic's neutral B isn't in fucking broken. It is so stupidly good. And every Sonic goes, oh, well, you can just spot dodge it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, sorry that you used it all the fucking way across the stage when there was no possibility it was going to hit. That's your fault. This move is a combo extender. It is an edge guarding tool. It is a kill move. It is a recovery move. The 2 ways to get around this move are to be so far from it to the point where it doesn't interact with you, or you spot dodge / roll against it. But you know what it also beats? Spot dodge and roll, because you can keep charging it. It's barely reactable. It's like the very fringe of reactable if they do the fastest one. The negative of this move is if you used it in a shitty place, it doesn't work and you might die for it. Just don't. Dr. Mario, I think pills are better fireball. Dox is incredible. It's a combo confirm. Fast characters would love this shit. You can use it as an edge guard to confirm. You can use it in disadvantage to kind of just be like, hey, go away. I just don't think it's as good as some of these other ones. Like it's less tricky. It's less overwhelmingly good. It is very, very good, but it's not overwhelmingly good. In a vacuum, it's bad on Doc relatively because he's so slow, but if you were faster with this, or Doc's neutral B is ridiculous. Flamethrower, it is really good somewhere here, somewhere here. It's like significantly worse than Bowser's. It pushes you back, so it's less of a good ledge trap. it also pushes you off stage, so you can't use it out at a disadvantage. You can't like ledge hop neutral B because you'll just get put back off stage, which means that it's a little rough for that. You can't hold it as long because you get pushed back as well, so it's less good of a 2-frame. It's good. It is a good move. It's just not that scary, and it doesn't do as much percent. Like, there's literally a significantly better version of it in this game, which also still has its flaws. Needles. Whew, what a move. I think it is better on Sheik than basically any other character in this game. I do not know what character benefits from it more than Sheik, whereas I feel like every character can benefit from these. Even most characters can benefit from these, and obviously characters would benefit from needles because it's a great camping tool. You can use it landing. It's like minus 8 or 9 on shield when you're landing with it, and it can combo into up smashes and aerials, and it's still very, very good. However, the best thing about needles on Sheik, in my opinion, is needles to bouncing fish, because you can cover so much area off stage and it confirms into a kill move. That's Sheik only. No other character can do that because they don't have bouncing fish. So because of that, it's not in super godlike. It isn't amazing. Next up is Yoshi's Neutral B. Yoshi's Neutral B is a great command grab that has a decent amount of range. You can get put in an egg. However, it is still worse than Wario's. The negative of it is sometimes you do not get guaranteed hits because people, if they knew how it worked, could hit a move and you come out and you're invincible for a little bit out of Yoshi's egg, which is worse than like freeze on like Sora's freeze neutral B. You can use it to kind of just annoy people. It's a great landing option. It's actually fantastic, but I do think it is overall slightly worse than Wario's because Wario's is a faster startup. So even though there are more benefits from Yoshi's, there's also more flaws, or like Wario has other benefits that kind of outweigh it. It's not super broken. It's just really good. Mewtwo, Charge Shot, the second best charge shot in my opinion in the game. It's here at least. It is a neutral tool, isn't really a disadvantage tool because it pushes whoever would have this too far back, but it's a great neutral tool that you can run behind. Obviously Mewtwo is fast, so it's extra good for Mewtwo, but even then, some characters will still be able to run and take a lot of space and then just start neutral being again. It's a great camping move, and it is one of the best ledge trapping moves in the game. Only Mewtwo and Lucario can hold their neutral B, and then after it's fully charged, keep holding it so they don't have to use it again with like the lag, right? So you can just hold this for forever. Like someone grabs the ledge, you just go, It's a really absurdly good move. Mithra's Neutral B is really good. By itself, Mithra's Neutral B is quite solid. It has invincibility, so it's good against projectiles or things like Snake's Grenade that are coming out. Maybe it could be better than this, but I feel like I don't see a lot of people use the like drag down hitboxes of it at the beginning, like the It's a weight independent move, which is very interesting because it's one of the only moves in the game that is weight independent. That and like Roy's neutral air are the only two that I can think of at the moment. You know when it's going to kill it on any character at any percent, which is kind of nice. However, it is not super safe. I know the final one is. Like max charged is super safe, but also max charged, you just jump over it or avoid it and then whiff punish. I see people be like obsessed with this move. I really don't think it's that good. I think it's a mediocre combo finisher unless you're at death percent. It doesn't do that much percent. You still would rather like up air because you want to keep juggling people more than you want to keep people away horizontally. Of all the moves in advantage, I'd rather just use moves that like actually force you to air dodge instead of having to hope that someone fucks up and doesn't like know how to beat it or like go away from it and then grab the ledge. Random character, click. Snake. Ooh, Snake's fucking, Grenade. Grenade is so good. It's clearly at least up here. It might be higher than this. It might be here. This is hard. Snake's neutral B is absolutely fucked up. So it's a frame 1 combo break, which automatically makes the game harder. Grenade shield is a thing. You can pick it up. There are so many setups when it comes to grenade. There's turn grenade, it B reverses, which means that in disadvantage it's better. You can use it to cover your landings like you can with T-Jolt. It's not as good when you don't have a double jump. You just have to fall with it. Like if you pluck it, you have to just fall with it. You can also get so many stupid combos. You get so many like, oh, you have to do something here. Dealing with invincibility is so easy for Snake relative to most characters because he just goes grenade, lob, grenade, jump. Like get grenade in hand, grab ledge, the one blows up, he rolls, it blows up while he's invincible and then just like rolls away or dashes away. Fox would be able to go like grenade, shield, jump, grab, back air, dash, grab, pummel, down throw. It would blow up during the down throw, then he would get up air chains. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect grenades so much. And while of course Snake's other tools are also what allows that, like down air and up tilt and dash attack, it's still mostly grenade. It forces people to approach because you can't just let Snake sit there. Again, unless you're Ness Game & Watch, like one of the characters that heals off of it, right? Like it's hard to use. It's not an easy tool to use, but I still think it's one of the best tools in the game. These three are all very close. Next up, Ness. It's literally only good as like a ledge stall. It's not, I mean, you can also use it when someone's landing on you, but it's not that great otherwise. It's not fast enough for it to be super good. It's very okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad move. It's a great shield break punish. You're like have to grab the ledge. It's very scary to deal with, kind of like Sephiroth's neutral B in the fully charged. It also chunks shield to fuck. It's not crazy. Like, as someone that probably gets hit by PK Flash more than most people, because I got hit by it like 5 times against fucking Send, it's good. Bowser's neutral B is really, really good. It is one of the best moves at what it does, which is, hey, you messed up your juggle a little bit, 40%. Your shield is low, guaranteed shield poke. This move's hard to punish. It should not be doing more than like 30 realistically, because you can SDI out, but what moves do 30? Very few, right? Like fully charged charge shots, Yoshi down air. Egregious moves do that much damage, and Bowser just has one. Like, could you imagine if you hit someone off stage and then just went and got 30% every time, unless they had a really good recovery that can avoid it? You can't roll through it, you can't spot dodge it, so you have to shield SDI away, get hit by like 10% of it anyway, and then you're out of it, and then maybe you get a punish. Only a few characters can punish it. I know Min Min's one of them. If you get someone in a good spot, it just does so much damage. The positions that it is good in, it is like the best move in the game in. Anyway, next up is Ryu. So I'm going to consider Ryu's neutral B all of his fireballs, including Shaku. I know that's technically an input move, but it's like a version of the neutral B. Is that inconsistent with things I've said before about like, oh, I'm not going to use their mechanics? Yeah, probably. I don't really care. The thing that I'm not counting is canceling into fireball, because that's a Ryu specific thing. But the fireballs by themselves are okay. Red fireball's ridiculous. You can do it slow and fast. You can use it to approach, like T-Jolt. Basically every character would be able to do that. You can use it to force people to air dodge. You can throw it off stage. You can use it as a way to just be like, hey, go away from me. I'm like from the edge guard. This move on a fast character would be fucked up. Thank God Ryu is slow. And then Ken's, just to get Ken's out of the way, I think Ken's is worse than Terry's fireball. And that's saying something, because I think this shit sucks. I'm giving this grace for being up here. It's just worse. You don't have Shaku, and then the rest of them are the same, but also do less damage. This move is a great combo tool. This is not. This is just like a go away. Bowser Jr. This move sucks. This move's really bad. This move is so much better than it was in Smash 4, and it is still one of the worst neutral Bs in the game. It's better than these two. The only good thing about this is when you get like the aerial one, it can hit shield and then the landing block of it hits shield, so it like breaks shield. But that's so specific, and if you know that, you just don't let that happen. It's so slow, it's not very good, there's a lot of end lag afterwards, you can't cancel the charge, so it's just bad. You just throw it out hoping someone's bad. It's just like a fucking way worse version of K-Rules. Pac-Man clearly goes up here. It is a little bit hard to say that Pac-Man's fruit is always good because half of them are bad. The good ones are Bell, Melon, Apple, Galaga. Key's even not that good. Key's okay. Orange is okay. Cherry is okay. Strawberry is okay. The reason that Pac-Man can get all these fruit all the fucking time is because of Hydrant. So I don't think as many characters would be able to get the good fruit that Pac-Man does, because Pac-Man has other tools to let that happen. It's half really good, half meh, right? Whereas like Metal Blade's always really good. Regardless, Pac-Man's fruit are amazing because you have a slow moving kill move. In Melon, you have Apple, which is a faster diagonal kill move. Galaga, which is obviously super good, and you have Bell, which is obviously fucked up. By far the best one. I think these two are really comparable. They're both really, really good. It just depends on what you want. Day-to-Day's Inhale it's a command grab. What's the difference between Kirby and Day-to-Day's? Sorry, DDD's frame data. DDD's is worse for offstage. It is worse on stage. It's better if you're just gonna spit the opponent out. But the thing is, I don't always want Inhale. Takes a neutral B that is like Ryu's or better. He becomes a way better character in my opinion. I think DDD can get like Inhale into up tilt up air 50/50s or something like that. It's like the worst command grab in the game. Because you can also roll through DDD's Inhale. Okay, let's do the other space animals. Fox's laser is on Fox. It's fucking incredible. He's so fast and you would always expect him to approach, and then he hits you with 5 lasers and you go, oh shit, I might have to approach, and he just like sets up defensive tempo. But as other characters, that shit would suck. It's a very mediocre projectile. He doesn't have knockback. It's good on Fox specifically. But on most characters, this would be like one of the worst projectiles in the game. On Fox, it's somewhere up here, but it's not on Fox because we're talking about in a vacuum. Whereas Falco's laser, better than Wolf's. Because this move is an interrupter that is faster than Wolf's, that has less lag than Wolf's, and even if the reward isn't as high, it's fucking obnoxious. It's better when your opponents are off stage. It's better when they're an advantage because it's just, hey, like you can't use Wolf's laser in disadvantage especially if you're off stage, because you'll just die. There's too much lag. Falcos has little enough lag that you can use it and then still be fine. It's a really fast interrupt that's really annoying to deal with, that sets up for edge guards, and it can be used in disadvantage, and it can be used in neutral as a better version of Fox's. I saw Tilde talk about that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, like I've thought this for a long time. I've always thought Wolf's Laser is mid, and not just because I can quick attack over Wolf's Laser, but like Wolf's Laser is only good because of Wolf's kit, whereas I feel like Falco's Laser is at worst annoying. Let's go to random one, Ike. Ooh. Eruption's broken. This move's fucked up. It is only usable in one situation, two framing. That is the only use for this move. But holy shit, if it's not one of the best moves for that in the game. It is the third best or second best two framing neutral B in the game. If I did not have Thunder, any single time I got thrown off stage against Ike, I would be terrified. Also, it breaks shields if you neutral get up into it, which is hilarious. Yeah, it two frames like a motherfucker. Game & Watches is broken. It is probably the best ledge trapping neutral B in the game. It doesn't kill, but who gives a fuck? This move by itself invalidates 80% of the fucking cast. It goes, oh, you grab ledge, you can't get through this. It literally makes ledge trapping a one and done type of situation, unless you aren't there fast enough. It is the best ledge trapping move. The only way to not get chefed is to go high. And obviously, Game & Watch has great tools to not let people do that. You can angle it. It has the hitbox with the frying pan itself. Sometimes it two frames and doesn't let your opponent get back to resources, and then it can combo into dash forward, forward tilt as most characters, and dash forward, forward air, and back air as most characters. This move is really only useful in that way in ledge trapping, but ledge trapping is one of the most important aspects in Smash Ultimate by far. Characters that can ledge trap well are good characters. Think Pikachu, Aegis, Samus, all these characters, it's like, oh, they do stupid stuff and then they get you on the ledge and you die. Yeah, fuck that move. Thanks for making me go over that. I got really angry really fast. Zero Suit Samus. Her neutral B is amazing. I'm not gonna say it's in super godlike because it's a little obvious, and the thing that makes it super godlike, if it would be up there, is Zero Suit's aerial mobility pressure situations, because you think a Zero Nair is coming, and then she like wave bounces a neutral B, and you like swing at her, and then you miss and get paralyzed or into upbeat and die. If your character does not have the air mobility, it's worse, because there's less mix-up into it. It just becomes like a Corrin neutral B. It is not as good on every single character. Wii Fit Trainer's neutral B. Healing's cool. Healing's good. Healing literally wins sets sometimes. You know how many times John Numbers has won by 1% because he just keeps healing? It's a charge shot. You can use it to edge trap. You can combo into the charge shot, but you cannot combo out of the charge shot, which in my opinion is really important and why Mewtwo's and Samus's are significantly better. Link's neutral B is good, question mark. Link Arrow is the worst of the three, because I think Toon Link's is so slow that sometimes it's actually good for pressure. I feel like characters that don't have a projectile still don't want Arrow, because it's literally only good to make people air dodge off stage, and that's it. You don't want to back up and shoot Arrow, because Arrow's not fast enough for that. And again, it's not like it's a confirm like Young Link's is. Like Young Link's, it's so much better, because it's a confirm. Whereas Toon Link, his Arrow is kind of the same as Link's, but because it's slower, you can actually get follow-ups off of it, because you can like jump an arrow and then like have someone be in this weird area where you hit them for it, which I feel like that doesn't really work with Link. And if the arrow hits, it can confirm into forward air and stuff like that. It's a little more annoying. I don't think it's in really good. It's a mediocre projectile. It's better, like a Bowser Jr. would still want it. Really quickly, we were just talking about Brawl Meta Knight as a tangent. Let's talk about normal Meta Knight. Meta Knight's Tornado is good. It's an edge guarding tool. It's an okay recovery tool. It's a kill move on Meta Knight. Most characters aren't going to juggle you to the corner and then kill you. Ironically, it would be really good on Pikachu. It's only good for like two framing your opponent and killing them off the side, and that's kind of it. I'm gonna actually pull it higher, not that high, strictly because of recovery, because recovery is important. Okay, so Min Min's a weird one. I feel like that's like 4 different moves, and I don't know how to rank it, so I'm just not going to. I kind of made sense of it in the other ones because I'm like, oh, it's just Dragon Nair. It's just Dragon Smash Attack, because I don't feel like ranking 4 moves at the same time is fair, and I'm not fucking putting 4 characters on for all of her different moves. Next up, we have Kazuya Mishima. Laser, it's okay. It's not a good move. You force people to air dodge. It can help your recovery a little bit, but I don't think many characters would want this because it's a really slow projectile that isn't that strong. It stalls you in the air, and you can angle it up, down, or forward on the ground, and in the air you can do forward or down, but it's okay. I don't think this move is anything special. I think it's one of Kazuya's worst moves, period. It's not even as good as some of these, because like Link and Toon Link Air can do the same thing. It's like you have to air dodge, jump, double jump, arrow, and then it hits them and they die. So Cloud is good. I don't like counting limit because that's technically a Cloud mechanic, and if it's in a vacuum, no one else is gonna get limit. Cloud's normal neutral B kind of sucks. With limit, it's like here, but I'm not considering limit. How about I'll do both for Cloud. I never do both for Cloud. I'm gonna do both for Cloud because I feel like there's enough of a difference. Whereas like the other moves are still good regardless. Whereas like non-limit neutral B fucking sucks. So this hero is limit neutral B, which is up here. You want to talk about a bad neutral B? Ice Climbers. I don't think it's this bad. I don't think it's as bad as these. It's really bad though. It is good to hit your opponent when they are off stage. It's bad in neutral because you can hit it back. It can jab block, but again, it's kind of slow, so most characters would not be able to do that. It's only good specifically on Ice Climbers, but not on Ice Climbers. This move sucks. Even if the one character spawned 2 neutral Bs, it's still bad because you can just hit it back. It's only good when the opponent's off stage if they are like Diddy Kong or some character that like really needs to like charge a long time for their up B. Pichu. I think Pichu's Thunder Jolt is still really good. It's not nearly as good as Pika's for the sole fact that he hurts himself. And hurting yourself automatically means that your camping is worse because you can't camp for the sake of camping because you're losing. You're putting yourself in a worse and worse scenario. The offensive part of the T-Jolt is actually fucking broken. I'm still gonna put it like probably here. It's a little faster, so less characters would be able to use it because you need to be faster to use Pichu's, but it also has more shield stun. It does more damage. It's really, really good. But hitting yourself is so important, and IMO, the angle that it sends at, because it's like Pikachu's is more like a 45-degree angle, Peach's is more like a 30-degree angle, so it's just worse. Every time a Pichu Thunder Jolts, I think, oh, okay, good. Ganondorf's Warlock Punch. It's still in the bad tier, but it is leagues better than Falcon's because it has armor on the ground and it actually kills at 0. Lucario, it's a charge shot, and it is, in my opinion, much better than these 2 characters. I think Lucario's neutral B is actually here. The thing that is the most unique about his Aura Sphere is it has a hitbox on it while he's charging it. So he charges Aura Sphere and combos into up smash and back air and up air, which is fucking ridiculous. And I feel like other characters would also be able to do that, at least with like a fast aerial. Honestly, it's probably worse on Lucario than most characters. If other characters had this fucking neutral B, it'd be fucking Bayo's neutral B is good, question mark. It is specifically good to punish people air dodging off stage, and that's about it. It's not a very good mix-up because you can't cancel it immediately. Maybe I'm biased because I play Pika. That is possible. I don't think Gun is particularly good. It's annoying for certain characters for sure, but I feel like it's really committal for what it is. And also it's punishable unless you're at like max fucking distance against a tall character. So I don't know. I think it's okay. I saw someone in chat talk about Pit versus Dark Pit. Dark Pits has more hit stun, but you can't angle it. Pits, you can angle, but it has way less hit stun. Pit has a much better neutral B than Dark Pit. Overall, Dark Pits is somewhere here. That's one of the reasons I think Pit is better. I would much rather have a tool that hits people in really, really fucking weird places, that doesn't combo, that can kill characters like Diddy. Whereas Dark Pits, you can basically shoot it at a like horizontal angle or like 5 degrees up, 5 degrees down. It's very much not an angle. I feel like you have to be a multi-jump character to really use Dark Pit's arrow effectively, because otherwise you're not really gonna be able to go like jump, fall with someone, double jump, arrow, forward air. Whereas every character in the game can be like, I'm on the floor, arrow, and harass people like that. You have to preemptively read jumps with Dark Pit, whereas I feel like you can react a little bit better with Pits. So in a vacuum, I think Pits is much better. Luigi's Fireball is like pretty good. Low key, it's better than Wolf's Laser. Luigi's Fireball is obnoxious. It gives you stage. Even like Mario's and Pika's, you need to give stage to take stage. Oh yeah, okay, wait. True. Someone in chat told me Luigi's Fireball is not transcendent, therefore it is worse. That is fair. Maybe it's just because it's Luigi, but I feel like it is a more useful tool in neutral than people give it credit for. It can make people air dodge, it can combo into stuff off stage, but at the same time it doesn't send anywhere, but also it's annoyingly disruptive. But again, I don't know how much of that is Luigi's other moves being fucking obnoxious with Fireball, or if Fireball is good. Definitely worse than Ryu's Fireball. I'll put it here. Banjo-Kazooie. I think Banjo's neutral B is a worse version of Fireball, T-Jolt, and Pill. Obviously, it does have the secondary thing of the Regal Blaster, like when you have Kazooie in your hands and you can like do the pop gun stuff of it, but I don't know how well other characters would be able to use that. It's definitely in this tier. I don't think it's higher than this. Banjo's neutral B is a weird one because like I think of it so lowly because I don't give a shit about what Banjo does. Like he's gonna do the entire combo and it's gonna do 20. I think this is a good spot for it because it does have the Mario-esque stuff, but then it has the bounce, it like lingers weirdly, and then also it has the cancel stuff, which again, on other characters, thinking about it now, would probably be fucking broken compared to how Banjo actually uses it. Let's do the Belmonts. Axe is good, question mark? No, it's actually really good. It's a little slow. It's a strong projectile that prevents jumps. It can help with edge pressure. It can just hit people if they have bad resources, kind of like what Me Brawler Shot Put does. It's just worse in disadvantage because you can't drift with it. So like you're just picking, but it's still a good move. It's good. It's solid. So I'm going to do Squirtle's neutral B. It's like Flood. I fucking hate Flood. It is a kill move on characters with weird recoveries. It gives you stage control, which is one of the most important things you could ever have in the game. It pushes people away from you when you're in disadvantage because they have to shield. And if they jump and you just blah, they just are farther away from you now. And you can also like turn it around in the middle of the air. So if you want to recover a specific way or threaten an aerial in a specific way, you can just turn around and it's fine. It's not broken, but it's good. I'm going to do Me Sword Fighter now. Tornado is really good. It's slow, it can 2-frame, it's a combo move. Everyone would be able to combo off it, I feel like, except for very, very slow characters. There are a lot of characters that would benefit more from Tornado than Me Sword Fighter does. Imagine Fox being able to be like, I'm edge pressuring, Tornado. That's Tornado. The fuck are Me Sword Fighter's other neutral Bs? Okay, so he has the neutral B, that is the multi-stab, which is just like a bad flaming Mach Punch. I'm going to use Male Robin for that. It's hella minus, but it does kill. That's safe as it's minus 23. It's not very good. It's not very good. And then the Shuriken is legitimately so bad. The Shuriken, I think, is worse than Bowser Jr.'s. It's a slow projectile to start up that then like zooms past you so you can't follow up off of it. It's so fucking weird. I don't know why they made this move the way they did. It's fucking awful. It has like no shield stun. Why did they make that move? That move is so bad. Anyway, Byleth. Byleth's neutral B is good, question mark. It's definitely the better than Link and Toon Link arrow because it kills, actually. You can cancel it pretty easily, so it's mix-ups, it stalls you a little bit. It's a shield break move because the charge arrow is like stronger than Falcon Punch. But I feel like it's just a bait, right? And if people understood that like after a certain point, they can no longer cancel it, and so they don't have to air dodge early, the move becomes way worse. I think that one use isn't enough, right? It's not like it forces people to approach because arrow fucking sucks. Incineroar's neutral B is, in my opinion, somewhere in really good. I don't actually know the properties of this move because I swear to God it's invincible till startup, but I think I'm lying. It is invincible frame 5 and 6. On the hitbox, it is invincible. Also, why are Incineroar's hands like that? Incineroar's hands make me uncomfy. So it's not invincible, so it's not actually a combo break. Everyone just sucks, including myself, because I got hit by this move so much when I played SkyJ. There are ways to deal with it, which is parrying the final hit, and of course, when you have revenge, sometimes it's a guaranteed shield break / shield poke, but we're talking about in a vacuum, so you wouldn't also have revenge. For how strong it is, frame 5 is really good. But also it's very punishable if you whiff. If you are wrong, you get hit really fucking hard. People just suck. Next up, the next heavy, we're going to be talking about King K. Rool. I think K. Rool's neutral B is pretty good. The cannonball is obviously pretty mediocre. However, there's a command grab as part of it, which means that sometimes if you get hit by it randomly, it's a spot dodge read, you take 30 because you get hit by the cannonball and then the inhale and then the out hit. I feel like the projectile is slow enough that it can be okay to approach behind if you're not K. Rool. It's a projectile and a command grab, which automatically makes it better than, you know, all these moves at the very least. I think there are certain spacings that Kirby Kid has figured out that like you cannot ledge jump or roll through it, which is terrifying, or get up attack. So you just kind of have to wait. It's not like the fantastic move, but it is pretty useful. For Dono, we are doing Samus. Samus has the best charge shot in the game by far. It is clearly up here in some aspect. It is in this top 5. I still don't know the order of these 3, and I think Samus's is better. Samus has bomb to ledge trap, which is what makes it better for ledge trapping, but I think it is at the very least maybe slightly worse on its own for ledge trapping compared to Mewtwo's, but it's still really fucking good. Because also, there are percents where you can get charge shot into their back air. Again, Samus is slow, right? Could you imagine, again, like a Roy going like, I'm edge trapping you, charge shot back air off stage. It's really good. It's really good. Next up, let's do Chrom and Roy. So Chrom and Roy's, I think, are about the same. I don't think there's a significant difference between them, so I'm just gonna put them both together. It's still worse than Ike's because Ike's is way fucking easier to hit, but the thing is there's so much less end lag on these that you can whiff the neutral B and be fine. Whereas if you whiff Ike's and you're too late on it, you're probably getting punished. Like, don't use it off stage, only use it to like 2-frame, but the 2-frame kind of sucks. Zelda's neutral B is really good. It's a reflector, which is automatically useful, right? Because it just makes some matchups better. Like, reflectors are always going to be good. It's invincible. If you're gonna be annoying, it's a good move to throw out to just be like, hey, I hope you were, it's a shitty Luigi down B. But frame 4 is really slow. So it's not actually that good for breaking out of combos, and it's super heavy risk, but most of this is reflector. Most of this is absolutely reflector because reflectors are good. Like, reflectors are inherently good because it makes a lot of matchups easier. It also does set up into tech chases sometimes. It's never gonna kill, unfortunately, but it's okay. I think auto reticle is like really good. In a vacuum, I think auto reticle is a very far-ranging projectile that is annoying to deal with, that hits 3 times, that does like fucking 14. 15, does a lot of damage. It does more than Sheik's Needles by like a lot. Obviously it is a bigger commitment because you can't cancel it, and sometimes you're not gonna be in range, but that's on you using it correctly. I think it's a decent projectile. Okay, so we have 2 more before the final 2 that I wanted to talk about. The first one is Rosalina. I'm literally just going to be using Luma's shot as like just a projectile. Like it's just a projectile that is there. And as that projectile, it is okay. I mean, it's a kill move. We saw it kill Akola, but it's still like, it's niche, right? Obviously, it's much better on Rosa than in a vacuum where just considering the shot, because then it's desync and you can do that into jab and that into down tilt and blah, 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 blah. Not much to say about it. It's a weird projectile that sometimes kills and sends you decently far, but obviously not on Rosa, it would be weird to rank. Diddy Kong's Pop Gun is a B-reverse machine, and that's literally it. But B-reversing is pretty fucking good. It's not useful. The projectile itself kind of sucks. It's a shield break punish, ironically, because you have the charge neutral B, right? Like it blows up in your face, it's fucking strong. It's stronger than Falcon Punch, I think. I don't know all the tech. I don't understand how you can do frame per B-reverse cancels. I don't get it. But you can, and you don't have to use your jump. It's better as a B-reverse tool than most other moves, but the projectile on it is so bad that I don't want to consider it higher than this. The final 2 characters, I'm sure you have been waiting so long, they get their own tier, because what these moves are game breaking by a significant amount. The best neutral Bs in the game. I don't think it's close. I think there is a significant gap between Broken Samus Charge Shot and Snake's Grenade and T-Jolt and Gun and Chef compared to these 2. These 2 are clearly the best 2 neutral Bs in the game. These moves are absolutely fucked up. They are insane. Steve's block changes the way the game is played. It is one of the best moves in disadvantage in the entire game. It's one of the best moves in advantage in the entire game. I'm not even considering mining. I'm not considering crafting, because those are more Steve specific. Just blocks, just block. You have the ability to make walls and camp. It's a better hydrant, so like Pac-Man absolutely wants it. Things like NIL combos, I'm not even considering that, because they're less likely to be a thing because of the way the other character's moves functions, and you don't even need it, and it's still the second best neutral B in the game. It is an edge guarding tool. Some characters get hit off stage and you kill them. They're dead. They cannot grab the ledge. Like, could you imagine getting like back aired by Pika all the way off stage? He recovers and then blocks the ledge. Let's say you're fighting a Lucas and they're falling and you're like, okay, cool. And then they land on a block and then get their jump back. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid, the fact that he gets not even a free disadvantage, because you can still hit people in disadvantage, but could you imagine a character with a better disadvantage, like a better non-block disadvantage than Steve, with block? No, you couldn't, because if you did, you would have nightmares for weeks. So don't. I advise you not to. It's so stupid. In advantage, the move is fucked up. In disadvantage, the move is fucked up. ZSS with block, she fucking nair back airs you, blocks you low, and then down smashes on top of it because you can't recover otherwise. Like, every single character would have fucking horse shit with block. Absolutely. Being able to do things like block into down tilt, block into up tilt with the up tilts that hit the floor, a Snake running at you and doing jump, single block, up tilt. The up tilt hits your shield, hits the block breaks, he fast falls and up tilts you again, or grabs you. It might have guaranteed grabs. Steve can be like plus 20 with his blocks. I'm sure other characters would have stupid fucking bullshit. So dumb. But the one thing that is better than Steve block is Monado. It's not even a move, it's a status move. It's a status increase. Increases your mobility, makes your recovery better, makes your combo games better, makes your killing better, and makes you not be able to be killed. Because of course, whatever character has this move, rapid jabs don't work against them. Long multi-hit combos don't work. Multi-hits don't work in general. It's really hard to edge guard. It's really hard to catch them if they want to run away. Could you imagine? Buster, Flame Breath. That shit would do 90 and have no pushback, so you wouldn't be able to SDI it. You also have dial storage, which means that you can cancel your moves with a Monado art switch. And I feel like Shulk, it's really hard to do that because his moves are really slow and you have to like kind of read that you're gonna get a hit. Can you imagine Pikachu? I'm gonna like T-Jolt and then dial store. And then I get a fucking landing nair, smash art, up smash, or smash art dash attack. You don't even need to do the technical stuff. You can just be super fucking fast or super fucking broken jumps. Any character would be top 15 with Monado arts. Like, let's think of the bad characters. Ganon would be way faster, would be able to recover, would be able to kill you even earlier, would not get comboed as hard. Dr. Mario, same thing. He's faster. He probably has better combos. He doesn't get comboed as hard, doesn't get edge guarded as hard. Banjo with Buster art, he would do damage, actually. Smash art side B. Ice Climbers with Monado? Hello? Steve Block makes everyone really, really good. Shulk's Monado arts break every single character. Like, Shulk without arts is a bottom 20 character at best. And with arts, he's probably top 10. Arts are fucked up. That's good to me.
Pikachu busted.